There was entirely too much that occurred in these last few days that I was not able to put more videos together to talk about each one individually, except for Caesar Sayoc, which is why I'm not including him in this video. My video in this particular case is going to focus more so on the other two individuals that I didn't get a chance to speak on. Now, if you listened to my live stream earlier, I did touch on all three of them, but you know what? I said let me go ahead and do a pre-recorded video and talk a little bit more about the other two that I didn't get a chance to talk on, like I did Caesar Sayoc Jr. The first person I'm going to talk about is Gregory Allen Bush. Now, he is the individual who in Kentucky went and killed two random black people just because he wanted to kill a black person. Now, his initial plan was to go to a predominantly black church and shoot it up, Dylan Roof style. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to pull a Dylan Roof, but he was not successful. Staunch racist to the core. And I have no doubt in my mind that he was probably a 45 supporter. These two individuals that he murdered, because that's exactly what it was, they didn't know each other. At first, I thought they were a couple, but I was informed that they were not. So they did not know each other. The guy that he killed, the man that he killed them inside. He killed them inside of the store. Then he went outside and shot and killed the woman, just because they were black. And the way that I know he was a staunch racist because he said something to the effect of whites don't kill other whites. I said that guy couldn't be more wrong if he tried. I said, I wonder if he has been paying attention to any of the mass shootings that have been happening for the last, I don't know how many months, just in this year alone. We don't have to go back to 2017. We can stay focused in 2018. And most, if not all, of those mass shootings were committed by white people, and there were white people that were casualties of it. That actually is going to be touched on in the next person I talk about. But see, they don't see people who are white, who are of a certain religion or a group as white, even though they are white. But they try to distance themselves from that. But yeah, Gregory Allen Bush, and he has a pretty checkered past. I even found out through other sources that he was once married to a black woman years ago. Which doesn't surprise me because it's just been a very loaded week of a lot of fuckery coming out, and that's another reason why I couldn't sit down and just make individual videos talking about these two. But nonetheless, the guy is a piece of shit, and he deserves whatever comes his way, if anything, for that matter. Because they're gonna get on code and whatnot, and that's pretty much gonna be that. But that segues me into the next person, and that is Robert Bowers. Now, his is the most recent one, but he definitely won't be the last. Robert Bowers went into a Pittsburgh synagogue. That's where the quote unquote Jewish people go to commune and to pray and to worship. And he took it upon himself to open fire with an AR-15. Killing 11 people and injuring many others. And you want to know what's so interesting is this guy went in there and he claimed he had a staunch hatred for Jews. That's what he said. Yet they love to put the label that black people are the most anti-Semitic people in the world. They still come at Farrakhan's neck every chance they get because he says some things about them, but you don't see him or any of the people that's around him going around threatening their lives or even doing harm to them. It's mostly, for the most part, it's always white people or people that look like them that are doing it. That's why it was kind of hard for me to extend that olive branch, because who knows what they said about us over the years when we were being harmed, especially under the Obama administration. And they also kill me too when they say, oh, stuff like this doesn't happen in our neighborhoods. I remember hearing that as a kid, and it was like, it annoyed me then. I'm like, this stuff happens everywhere. It's just as easy for you to turn a blind eye. And I was listening to, Professor Black Truth earlier when he was talking about this, and I was reading the comments and I was listening to him, and he said, and some of the people in the comments said, it's amazing how they immediately, got this guy and they immediately labeled him with a hate crime instantly. Yet when Dylan Roof did what he did and shot up that black church, they came up with every excuse to try to not label him with a hate crime. See, whenever it comes to them killing us, they have to drag that hate crime out of them. But when it's them killing them, or them killing a quote unquote Jewish person or persons, they can throw that hate crime on them in a heartbeat. And one thing I was going to say is that I know for a fact mainstream media is not going to shove a camera or a microphone in the victim's family's face and convince them to forgive Robert Bowers. I know they're not going to do it. But when it comes to us, we have to be coerced and or forced to forgive what they did. I'm sorry, but if someone did something like that to a friend or a family member, I could not forgive, nor could I forget what they did. I don't care how much you pressure me or how much money you try to offer me. It's just not going to fly. I cannot, my morals cannot be bought. I'm sorry. They just can't. And they'll try to make the black person feel like they are the bad guy if they don't forgive them. But if it comes to them and they choose not to forgive them, which they shouldn't, then all is good in the world. I see how all of this works. It's pretty obvious. So what did we learn this week, ladies and gents? That you can send bombs to people all over the establishment because they don't agree with your political viewings. You can shoot to people inside or outside of a grocery store just because of the color of their skin. And you can go into a synagogue and shoot up some people because you don't like who they are as people. As long as you're white, of course, you can do that. And get taken in alive. All three men did crimes against humanity and were taken in alive. Neither one was called a terrorist, even though they committed acts of terrorism. And I'm almost certain all of them are Trump supporters. I know one is for certain. He's pretty much expressed that. I'm trying to see, is there any kind of other comparison between the three of them, between the obvious? Oh, they're extremely wicked. They're extremely dangerous. And they all deserve the death penalty. Now, that last one is probably going to be hard, but we'll see. But I know they're going to really try to push for Robert Bowers to get that death penalty because they said if he is convicted, which they probably are going to, they're trying to slap him with that death penalty as fast as they possibly can. But that's really all I have to say about this. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. I'll leave the links in the description, and I'll talk to you in the next one.